Hi, my name is Chelsea Terrell, and I'm going to be working from St. Louis, Missouri for the duration of this course.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Warner, and I'm working on this project from Alaska.
Hi, my name is Emma Robb, and I'm working from Oyhut, Washington.
Hi, my name is Tiffany. I live in Illinois, so that's where I'll be working from.
Hi, my name is Caitlin. I am part of the Industrial Agriculture B Group, aka the Corn Crusaders.
Industrial agriculture has interested me for many reasons. I feel that it is the most important part of sustainability, as it is the world that fuels us. I think that where our food comes from, how it's made, how it's processed, how it's treated, is very important not only to our health, but for the environment.
The topic of industrial agriculture has interested me for a very long time. I grew up in Nebraska, surrounded by cornfields and industrialized farming, but I didn't really know or understand what any of that meant until I started working in the restaurant industry. And there is where I sort of noticed just where all of our food comes from, and is where I started understanding just how unsustainable kind of our entire food system is.
I care about industrialized agriculture because I care about what we are putting into our bodies. I don't think it's safe for us to be eating food that has been grown with harsh chemicals. I also really care about the well-being of the livestock that's in the agricultural industry. I think that they're forced to live in stressful and overcrowded environments, and that is not very healthy for those animals. I also really care about what's going to happen in the future due to all the deforestation from the industrialized agriculture. I think we really face some big problems that we need to start working on now in order to have a healthy planet in the future.
And I chose industrial agriculture because I personally believe that it is one of the most polluting sectors that is out there. And I really believe that we need to figure out a way to sustainably feed 9 billion people by 2050. And I think we can do that without things like pesticides and CAFOs and monocropping, which are all extremely damaging to our environment and our planet. So I believe that we should figure out a way to sustainably feed a growing population, and that's why I chose industrial agriculture.
I chose industrial agriculture as a topic for this project because my interest in sustainability really stemmed from learning about the food industry. About 3 years ago, I decided to transition into a plant-based lifestyle because one of the women I work with, she is a huge advocate for the earth and all of its inhabitants, and she would tell me stories all the time about the meat industry and what happens to the animals and just the impact on the planet, and I just couldn't get it out of my mind. So I had to transition into a plant-based lifestyle, and ever since then I've really consider all habits that we do, and I am so excited to learn more about this subject because, like I said, this really, set the start for what I want to do. So yeah, thank you. When it comes to industrial agriculture, anyone who eats food in America, otherwise known as consumers, are stakeholders. This is especially true for people who do not source their food from local farmers. Generally, people who eat from fast food industries or even buy from mainstream grocery stores are part of industrial agriculture. The producers of these foods, such as farmers and food manufacturers, are also stakeholders. They are controlling the quality and quantity of food produced. The government also plays a role in production through actions like subsidies and the FDA, for example. Business plays a huge role in industrial agriculture. All food gets to the table through businesses. This includes transportation businesses, grocery stores, fast food and restaurants, industrial food processor companies. Some other businesses that are stakeholders are pesticide and herbicide companies. Even hospitals, pharmaceutical companies, and insurance companies can play a role due to the health issues the food we consume can cause. Going along with that, another aspect of the government that is involved are agencies such as the Department of Health and Human Services or National Institutes of Health. Finally, the animals are stakeholders as every day they are enduring a life of misery by being held in horrendous conditions and being pumped with chemicals like antibiotics. Food is a central part to human life, so it is not surprising that in our current world there are a variety of stakeholders involved.
How do the stakeholders fuel the issue of industrial agriculture? In different ways. I have the people as the main contributor of what we invest in matters. Businesses are next to that. It's where we get our food from, who supplies it, and factory farms are the ones who produce it because of where we put our money into. Local farms I added in there because there are farms that we look at for examples of how to better our food. There are better options out there for us, and I feel that they set an example for those options. Next, I have a lot of the food industries, that are shown here. I feel that our culture is fast, it's convenient, and people buying from these businesses are just fueling to the cancer of industrial agriculture, of factory farming. I feel that where we put our money at is huge, and it says a lot. If we put more into local farming, it's going to start shutting down the big industries. And until then, I don't see that there's going to be a change in where we get our food from, how it's made. Because places like these, it has to come fast, it has to come in bulk, and a lot of it is coming from your factory farming. Factory farms, with that said, use so many chemicals, pesticides, abundance of lands, inhumane practices on animals, and so much more. But fast food is cheap, it's convenient, and a way of life for some, as I've stated before. For some, finding a local farm may be scarce, and in that case, our money goes to the factory farming. The big businesses and those industries overtake local farms because that's not where the money's going. The money is going into places where is not benefiting our health. It's not benefiting our planet, our environments. Where we put our money really does matter. Local farming makes people aware. It makes people aware of better options available to them, from organic farms to well-kept lands and treating our animals with love and the care they deserve. And I say that because the way the animals are treated in the factory farms makes up for a lot of disease, not only spread to them but to us in our food, causing a lot of cancers, heart diseases. And these are just options that are better for us, for our health, and for the planet.
Industrial agriculture is the most significant driver of deforestation in tropical and subtropical countries, accounting for almost 80% of deforestation from 2000 to 2010. The most significant agricultural drivers of deforestation include soy, palm oil, and cattle ranching. The majority of industrial agriculture activities affecting forest land typically take place in developing countries that produce commodities for global markets. Insecticides are used to kill agricultural pests. These chemicals can enter and contaminate water through direct application and runoff. These chemicals can poison fish, wildlife, and contaminate food sources. High concentration of air pollutants are emitted when waste is burned and can be very harmful to human health. It is not uncommon for farmers to burn leftover plastic from agriculture use, which create greenhouse gases that cause climate change and global warming.
There are numerous drivers behind the industrialization of agriculture, but there are 4 that have been the main driving force. They are population growth, mechanization of farming, chemical and pharmaceutical inputs, and market concentration. By 2050, our population will rise to 9 billion. This means that to meet production goals, farmers, ranchers, and other industries must find ways to improve productivity and efficiency. This is where the mechanization of farming comes in. It has brought us a tremendous gain in efficiency and has allowed us to produce more in less time. The introduction of synthetic fertilizers was a game changer for agriculture. It not only allows farmers to protect their crops from pests, but also increase their yields. And antibiotics were introduced as a way for animals to gain weight on less feed. The last driver of industrial agriculture is market concentration. This means that a smaller number of companies have a large market share of the industry. For industrial agriculture, this can mean lower prices on our market shelves. However, dominant companies can, and often do, dictate how foods are produced and even influence policy in their favor within government agencies.
To complete this assignment and future assignments, the Corn Crusaders have used a variety of techniques. Because we live across 4 different time zones and have varying work schedules, we have used things like group texting, Google Docs, and good old-fashioned email to stay on track and connected. The group texting and Google Doc is helpful because everyone can see what each one of us has to say, and we can update each other on what we've accomplished so far and give each other honest feedback. In order to evenly divide up the work, we arranged a time when we could all do a video call in order to assign specific tasks for each person. This way, no one is left wondering what their responsibilities are. If anyone has questions or we miss anything, we can always stay updated in that group chat as well.